Workout day, sparring time. Hello, I hope you guys been well. So we'll be doing drills today, clearing the basics of groundwork and basic drill work. I wanted to spar, but I had too much sugar and caffeine the day yesterday. I couldn't sleep well. And you can do crazy exercise, but when you spar with somebody, you can't. Time to feed the birds. They don't worry about the carbs. They don't go, oh no, I need complex carbs. Just whack it. It's a good life, man. Brother, my fever is at 39.7. I'm gonna see the doctor. I thought Panadol would help, but still not going down. I think I'm having an infection. This guy is really a champ, man. He's got fever at 39.7 and he insists that he wants to come. And he'll take his temperature in the morning just before he leaves. He took it, he's at 39.7, so I admire that, my friend. I know you'll join us next week. This guy is crazy. He's one of the elite firefighters. He's a marine firefighter, so he's got that craziness. That's why he's daring enough to come, and his only request is that we punch him. Really, I'm not kidding. We still play spar with him because he's new, and MMA is a lot different from firefighting work. It's a little bit crazy, I guess, but you have to be a little crazy in life. You have to have gone through something hard. Maybe you lost a dad, or went through a disease, or really hard trying thing, or like a elite firefighter, you pushed yourself through special operations or something. There'll be something. People who make their mark usually have to have gone through the furnace in some way. My beginning was when I lost my dad. He was a tough love kind of guy, and he prepared me for the hard life. But when he was around, we were very sheltered because he's such a big man. Not physically, but the kind of person that he is. But the way he raised us is to be tough. So it's hard to say it, but after he passed on, the seeds that he planted suddenly begin to take fruit. And if you're going to shelter your kids, you can do it for a while, but once you're gone, the choices they make must be voluntary. They must choose to not do this and that, not that you force them. Will they do it? And we became tough like that. You still remember, huh? The landlord came to our office to kick us out. Our first office, Starrr'd Productions.
Came drum.
Mangaliam Tandana, father. Oh, marriage. Oh, sorry. Blessing to the new father. So, we had just gotten the news that Harold's going to be a dad, and it was, I think, 6 months or a year into our production company starting. We were extremely excited, and we were already working on a film short that we called If Only You Knew, which Harold was directing, and he'd done a lot of extensive work, locations, auditions, preparing short lists, and at the same time I'd been working on the finance side, about 3 or 4 months working on a lead to invest into the production work, because we were new and we were small, and this was an ambitious project. We had done a short film prior, but couldn't really call that a short film because there wasn't any dialogues, and it was more of a showpiece that showed the feel and texture in which we the film and feel and texture that we can work with. But this was something groundbreaking, the next step.
Nice. Okay.
And it was at this point that we got the bad news. After all the work and with Genesis expecting, we had to decline the investment offer because of some dodgy dealings. And that would mean no income for us, and that we had to go out on a limb. So this was when we couldn't make payments for everything that's in the office and even the rent. And that's when all hell broke loose. This picture that was taken on the day that we had to leave and vacate. And all the equipment I had to shuttle back to my home and store it up in the study in my home. And I took it just because I wanted to remember this day, the day that, all hell broke loose for us and we got kicked out like beaten dogs. This ambitious group of young people who set out to change the cinema world in Singapore, or to build a film industry in Singapore, got thrown out and kicked out like a bunch of dogs. So that was when I took this picture. He came drunk. He filled up a bottle of a Coke bottle with I don't know, gin or not sure what it was, some shots. And he came and I was from a very close-knit Indian community, about 300, 400 odd people. And when you're in a community, you're very sheltered. So that kind of life is quite surprising. And the first thing he told me when I tried to explain to him that, we can't pay the rent, give us some time. I just tried to, he made a mistake. The first thing he told me is, fuck you, I'm going to drag you to court and I'm going to sue your pants dry. That was how we began. That was about 3.5, 4 years ago.
3.
You have to be on a journey. Like in MMA, like in sparring, if you don't enter a battle, you don't enter a war, your gloves are of no use. You can hang it up on the wall and it's just there for show. So you know how to use it, you know how to swing it, but you don't have a battle to use it for. There's no point. The whole point of life is that the tools you learn, whether you go on YouTube, whether some celebrity tells you this, you have to go into a battle to use the tool, a journey. And it's alright if you don't go through a journey. I'm not looking down on people who don't try to go through that journey. They take a route that is more calculated, I guess. But if you want to live life worthwhile and not be bored and have a direction and not be swayed by the people around you and not get into trouble, you have to find a route. You have to find a journey. You got to find a battle and something that is worth dying for. And that's the key. If you haven't found what you would die for, then you don't know what you're living for. What would you die for? Something you would die for. And of course, people from religious people will say, I die for my religion, but really those are just pleasantries that you garland yourself with. It doesn't require a journey, It's just, I die for my religion. How many people are, I'll die for my kids, or I'll die for my... Do you need to die for your kids? You don't need to. Why? We're in a prosperous country, developing country. I'm talking about journeys where you have to put yourself at risk and you develop yourself, and you have to develop muscles that you didn't know were there. Jumping in the deep sea. If you're an eagle, you'll drop your cheek at the right time to force it to flap its wings. And that's life. That's life. If anyone tells you otherwise, the only thing that will stand against you is reality when it hits you.
and it'll hit you once that person leaves. Maybe it's a parent or a friend or something who says, no, whatever you do, you can be comfortable, everything's fine. No, adversity is how you grow, and you have to put yourself in adverse situations, and you have to find something that is worth going through that's adverse. So
just finished our drills. It was a good day for the Thai India as well. We forgot to bring our water, so it's freaking hot today, but it was a good day.
today is a very important day. On the way up for the meeting. Today is a interesting day for me. My dad's death anniversary. 7 years. This particular meeting has been about 3 years in the making. And we've been working very hard just toward this one meeting. So it's happening on a really interesting day, and God willing, we go all the way. So we work very hard. So we'll see what happens. God willing, we go all the way.
Action. Action. 2, 3, break.
Rolling. Oh wait, sorry, people behind, very wait.
Rolling. Action.
Okay, this is my standard motion. So I'll go clear this side, then after that move.
Tough person, because they're going to ask you very tough questions. So people normally think of Singapore, they don't think of film. Singapore is the best country for film. The way I see it, it's poised to become a powerhouse. You want to hit that powerhouse.